All right. I don't even know if I remember how to stream. It's been so long. I was like, it took me a while to get ready. I was like, oh crap. There's like things I need to do before I do this. Hey, if you can't hear me, let me know. I think the audio should be good, but just want to make sure. But hey, welcome to the stream. Oh, what is. I didn't ask you to play music. All right. All right. Welcome to my first stream of 2025. It's pretty exciting. It's been a busy few months. I've been working pretty hard on a lot of other things that have been taking me away from creating content for the channel, or in preparation for creating content for the channel. So the channel itself has been pretty quiet for a while now. I think like months, even maybe. So hopefully give everyone an update. The channel's still growing. There's a lot of engagement. The Discord's growing. We're about to hit 300 members. So if you haven't already, I'm going to take a guess here and say it's this hand. No, oh, I got it wrong. This hand. Join that Discord. Check it out. We got like almost 300 people now. It's growing. We got a community project going right now. We've been doing game jams. There's a lot of interactions in there, so pretty exciting. Yeah. So I wanted to start by just, I haven't been making videos in a while. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes. So I wanted to give everybody an update on what to expect kind of for the rest of the year out of the channel. And then talk a little bit about the Blender course that I've been working on for a while and give an update on that. I'm hopefully going to be launching the first videos of that by the end of this month. Hopefully, it might be like the first couple days of February. I've got a lot of things fighting for my time right now, but it is coming. I promise. I've been working super hard, and I promise you that you won't regret the wait. Like, it's going to be a great course, I think. And then we'll just end, if we have some time left, I'll do a little bit of streaming. People can ask questions. I'll show a game that I've been working on the side. This would be like the first time I think anyone's ever seen it, maybe, other than one person. So yeah, let's talk about the roadmap. So this is kind of what I have planned out for the rest of the year. So like I said, I've been working on this 3D modeling for game development course for quite a few months now. I think it was back in the summer I started like conceptualizing and planning out like what would I want to be in this. And the idea behind this is like there's tons of Blender courses out there, right? And I am in no means the best person in the world to teach Blender. But one of the gaps that I noticed is that a lot of the Blender courses are more focused on just like creating art. Which isn't bad. Like Blender's great for that. I've seen a lot of like studios picking it up for like animation, not related to game dev, just like movies and videos and shorts that are animated in Blender. Great for that. But one of the gaps that I just felt was like there's not any courses for Blender that are like about game development, right? So if someone wants to learn how to make assets to be used in games, they are going to go through some course that's focused on creating art, and then they have to try to apply those things to game development, but it's not all the same. It's not like a direct thing. It's like, I guess a good analogy would be like learning how to paint, and then you're like, oh, now I'm going to try to draw. It's like a lot of it's the same, but not everything. Not all the same techniques translate exactly. So the point of this course is to be focused on how to create assets that are game ready to put into a game to help you get, working on your portfolio to help you get a job as a 3D modeler in game dev specifically. And again, I'm not going to say I'm the best person to teach this course, but I do think it's going to be a good course. There's going to be a ton of content, and I'm also creating, these courses. I've been creating them for free for a few years now. Coming up on 3 years this summer. Since my first video, I went back recently in time and tried to remind myself it was August 2022. So this summer will be 3 years for the channel. But I've been creating these courses now for free. Historically, I've made nothing to very little off of these courses. My goal is to continue to develop free learning content available for everyone on YouTube. And I never want to be putting this content behind a paywall. To me, if people see value in the course, I would like to create alternative paths for people to support the channel. And that allows those that don't have those resources to be able to continue to learn and grow for free. So I am creating this user guide. I'll pull it over here just to show how much I have so far. So as of right now, it is 48 pages long. Oh, I don't even know if you could see that. I guess it is kind of small. 48 pages, right? And what this is this is meant to be an accompaniment to the videos. So really the videos speak for themselves. You can follow along with the videos. One thing I find, like when I'm learning something though, is it's kind of frustrating to be like, oh, I don't really remember how to do that. What video was that in? I can't really remember. So one of the good things about this is you can see here, this is like the table of contents. This is everything that's going to be in this course. But one of the good things about this is that there's going to be written instructions for everything. In addition, like I'll show you here in lesson 3, we start to build this sword. It's literally step by step how to make this sword. So for me, when I was learning Blender, I would have loved to have an asset like this or a guide like this, because I don't want to, maybe don't even remember what video it was in, and it'd be good to have like a PDF searchable document that I can go and just say like, how did I do that? And I could read through it, but then at least it gives you an idea of like what lesson it's in. So at the beginning of each lesson, there's also going to be a link that isn't in there yet because the links don't exist. But you can use this as a resource when you're going through the videos to take notes, or just like read through it first and then watch the videos, and that might help you absorb things a little bit better, or just as a quick Control F searchable document that you can go and find just the thing you're looking for. So this will not be free. So my hope is that those that have the resources that can afford a few dollars, if you buy this, it's going to be a great resource for you to use to learn and go through the videos along with, but also it does help support the channel and allows me to keep making that free content. A lot of creators put their content on Udemy or one of these other sites, and that's great. I think that's great. I think a lot of times the courses aren't that expensive, but not everyone has that, especially in places where maybe people don't have as many resources. So I want to keep making the videos for free. These documents will allow me to continue to do that and allow people to support the channel that have the means. So that's all I'm going to talk about that. But as you can see, been working on this pretty hard. So let's go back to the thing we were doing. So one of the things when I was developing this course though is that it's a ton, right? And I don't want to keep postponing it, because I think originally I said it was going to be out in November, and I got busy with other things, and I said December, and now I've been busy with other things. Like life always finds a way to get into your plans, right? Like I had 10 days off around the holidays, and I was like, oh my God, I can finish the course during this time. I could still have it out in January. And then I got the flu, and I was like down for 2 weeks. Like I couldn't even talk more than 5 words without coughing my lungs out. So didn't think that would be fun to listen to on a video. So I had to push it out again into January. I've been working really hard. I have like a week left in January. It's looking, maybe that's not going to happen. But I'm going to try to get as much as I can. But one of the decisions I made was to basically break it up into 2 parts. And we'll talk about what that is. So the first part is going to be due out, as soon as I can get it out. Probably not January, probably February at this point. But I'm going to continue working on the second half of the course and release that as part 2. The one thing is it's all going to be in that same document. So you won't need to buy the document twice. If you buy it, it's going to work for parts 1 and 2. So that's the benefit of that. So that's going to keep me busy through the spring. In June, I'm going to be relaunching the Game Development Bootcamp. So if anybody has been around the channel for a while, I did release a Game Development Basics course like 2-ish years ago, a little over 2 years ago. It's been, it's gotten a lot of viewership, but as time goes on, some of the information doesn't become as relevant. It was when Unreal Engine 5.0 had just come out. Now we're on 5.5, and a lot of changes have happened over the last couple years. So the course isn't quite as relevant. I tried to rectify this last summer with Game Development Bootcamp is what I was calling, and it was 100% streamed lessons. And I think that was generally successful. I don't want to call it a failure, but I think what I learned from the comments that I got from that and from different people is that they really preferred like the broken down lessons, not that are like pre-recorded and edited, a little bit slower pace. Because I think with the boot camp doing live streams, I was trying to just like get it all through in the 2 or 3 hours that I had made for it. And with the pre-recorded lessons, I can take my time. I can make sure that I'm giving the information correctly. But there was some feedback from the streamed course that people liked watching the problem solving. They liked watching me like work through issues that I didn't really plan for. So what I'm thinking for this is maybe a hybrid approach where I do some of the lessons that are more like just getting information out as pre-recorded lessons. And then we're actually building the project every week. I'll do that as a live stream, and then you can watch me kind of go through it step by step. But the lessons themselves where the information is put out would be on like a pre-recorded, edited lesson. So that's what I'm thinking. I want to keep updating this course every year or two. I think it's important to keep relevant to the current like markets. I may do it in Godot in like the next year, or Unity in a future year, just to like keep things shaking up. But the goal is just to like continue to develop this course over time. So the feedback is really appreciated. If you've already watched one of the other 2 courses, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I could have done better, things that you liked about it, so I can continue to develop these courses, because I want to continue to create this free learning content. So that's an update on the Game Development Bootcamp. It's going to be coming out this summer. That's the goal there. And then July 15th. So those that you don't know, last August, I made an announcement in the Discord that we are going to be making a project as a community. There's currently 16 people working on this project. There's been a ton of work put into it. It's not really like anything that I could like show as of today, except for maybe some screenshots. But within the next 2 to 4 weeks, we hope to have our first playable demo that people could at least get a sneak peek of what we're working on. So keep an eye on the Discord for that. I will be putting out some announcements in the next 2 weeks about that and some details. And then, although we do have like a fairly full team right now, I want to let people know that, you can still apply to the project. I do have like 3 or 4 people that are on deck. So as people can no longer like obligate their time to the project and they need to move away to do other things, my idea would be to cycle people in to fill those holes and give more people a chance to get experience. So if you're interested, go to the Discord. There's plenty of information about how to apply to the project, and you can kind of get on like a waiting list, I would say, at least for now. Yeah, exactly. Actually, if you like watching that, my best recommendation for the if you want to watch someone that like actively debugs is Code Like Me. He's on YouTube. He has like hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos at this point. But a lot of times it's like, hey, I have this idea on how do I want to do something. I'm going to like let you watch me do it in real time. But a lot of times he doesn't actually know what he wants to do, and you get to see the process of like how he works through the problem. So it's really interesting. But yeah, I got a lot of feedback that people appreciated being able to watch me like what is my process for working through a problem. So I do want to have that incorporated in this course as well. But if you want to check out the community project, join the Discord, and I'll be putting out some information in the next couple of weeks about the progress there. But it's been great so far, and as time goes on, we need people of all types as well. We have game designers, we have a programming team, we have some really awesome, talented 3D artists that are making these custom characters that are super like cute and adorable and awesome, and I can't wait to play this game. So yeah, check out that. And our anticipated launch right now for that game is July 15th. But like I said, we're going to be having playable builds before then, so you can maybe get some chance to be a beta tester and give us some feedback on the game. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Code Like Me is actually pretty awesome. He's not for everyone, but he's definitely one of my favorite people to watch. So, all right, and then we did this game jam last October. People seem to really like scaring me, and maybe it's because I told people I really, really despise being scared. You can go watch the gameplay video from the last time. So we did this game jam in October. It was a lot of fun. It was really awesome to see the ideas that people came up with. I put the unedited videos of me playing these games, all the submissions online. If you want to watch me get scared, it's pretty funny, I guess, to people that like watching that type of stuff. So we're going to be doing another scary game jam in October. So keep an eye on the Discord, keep an eye on the channel for updates on that. So that's 2025. There's a lot going on the channel, hoping to be able to accomplish all of it. So yeah. What was the next slide? Is there a next slide? There is not a next slide. All right, let's go to this one. So the next thing was Blender course preview. So this is, I guess, we already talked about it a little bit, so this may be a little bit review or redundant. Let me change this. I don't know why that's all weird like that. Anyway. All right. So I'm making this Blender course. Like I said, it's called, what is it called? Game development for 3D modeling for game development. All right. So I think originally there was going to be 14 lessons. What I decided is that the sculpting, rigging, animation, it's a lot. It's a lot to cover. And if I tried to cover it all in one course and do all 14 lessons, there's no way I could be done with this. Like, the amount of work I've already put into this is kind of staggering, if I'm being honest. So my idea is let's take those lessons out because they're a lot to work on. And I don't want to keep pushing the release of this course off forever. So what I've decided is part one, my hope is to release this in the next couple weeks, is going to be an introduction to Blender, how to navigate Blender, some basic modeling tools. We're going to go over the modifier stack. Modifiers are a huge part of working in Blender, and specifically non-destructive modeling, which means like it's almost like a way of procedural modeling, I guess, if you will, where you can create pieces of your model that aren't actually there. They're kind of made there by like math. So you can make changes to your model, and you can make multiple versions of your model from the same base model. So this is really beneficial for like if you wanted to make some crates or some trees for a game, and you didn't just want to have one tree, you wanted to make like 10 different trees. Well, you can use the modifier stack in Blender to make like multiple different versions of the same thing very quickly. And it's very good for people who are doing like environmental art that want to like mix up their scenes a little bit. You can do that through Blender. There's also geometry nodes, but we don't cover that. It's a little bit advanced for a beginner course. But I might do a course, like a mini course on that at some future time. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So the modifier stack will be part of this. We'll talk about shading, like basic shading, which if you're doing like low poly games or like very basic games, this is really beneficial because you could just do like very, very basic shaders, and they pretty much translate like one-to-one to Unreal Engine and kind of to Unity. I haven't had really any issues with Unity doing it, but like I don't want to say it 100%. So basic shading is really good for low poly that you just want to like make very basic shaders that can be used in Unreal Engine. We'll talk about UV mapping, which is like how you unwrap your model so that you can use more advanced shading techniques, which are sometimes referred to as PBR shading. It's in the lesson, but I can't remember what that stands for off the top of my head. Anyone know? Anyway. So we'll talk about that type of shading and how to set up those shaders in Blender. And really the goal isn't to make things in Blender. The goal is to make things in Blender that can be used in your favorite game engine. So we'll talk about all throughout all these lessons is like things that you may not think of when you're trying to like move something from Blender into a game engine or some other external software. So we'll talk about all that. We'll talk about texture painting, which is like really awesome and like relaxing to me. This is what I'll do when I'm just like want to chill out. It's basically like if I were to give you like a model, like have you ever been in one of those shops? They have them in the US here in the malls sometimes, where it's like you can get like a piece of pottery or like a little figure and then they'll let you paint it. So it's kind of like doing that, but in Blender. Like you get your 3D model and you can like literally paint onto it. And it's a lot of fun. I find it to be like super relaxing personally. So there's that. And then we'll talk about the most important thing, because this is a course on how to learn how to make models for game dev. We'll talk about how to export these files so that you could use them in your game engine. And then we'll wrap up with a course review. So that's everything that's going to be in part 1. Hopefully this is going to be out in the next couple weeks if everything goes to plan. And like I said, we're just going to split out these other things into a part 2. These lessons are going to be a little bit more in depth. So like even like this part 1 has 10 lessons. Part 2 with only 4 lessons will probably actually be the same amount of like content in hours or minutes. So yeah. But yeah, keep an eye out for this. And then these are just like a few of the things that I'm going to be covering. So we're going to be covering how to model using Blender. We'll talk about modeling, shading, UV mapping, texturing, rigging, animation, basically like the whole 3D modeling pipeline. But specifically how to use those things in Blender. We'll talk about the hotkey workflow. People that don't come from Blender, like if you use 3ds Max or what's the other big one? ZBrush, Maya, they have these very different workflows. So a lot of people, when they know one of those and they try to go to Blender, they're like, this doesn't work for me. I don't like this. But what I've found is that if people embrace it, this hotkey workflow is like the fastest way to make models, in my opinion. It's so quick because you're just using like keys, like your keyboard for everything. Like Maya uses like a right click system where everything's in like these little sub menus, and that's good because you don't actually have to take your hand off of the mouse. So if you're using like a drawing pad, you could use like mouse movements and then draw with your other hand. I think ZBrush has something similar to that. Blender, it's all about keyboard and mouse. So you're using your keyboard a lot, using your mouse a lot. And I find it to be like incredibly efficient. So we're going to talk about how to utilize that hotkey workflow in Blender. And then we're going to talk, and then the most important thing is how do we get those assets into your game engine? So that's what the course is about. All right. I think that's that presentation, right? Let me see here. Nope. What is it? What am I trying to do here? This one. Yeah. All right. Do we need music? I don't know. Sometimes people get pissed off by the music. I'll turn on the music, and if you guys don't like it, I'll turn it off. Sometimes it's just like, it's too quiet with just me. It's like I can hear my voice too much, you know? All right, no sound. No sound at all. Oh, when I was on the other screen, you guys couldn't hear me? Yeah. I always forget. I go to that other one that's like, it's supposed to be just my camera, but it doesn't have a sound, and I keep forgetting to fix it. So thanks for letting me know. That'll be my reminder. I'm going to look at that at the end. I'm going to be like, okay, I got to do this. All right, so this is this game I've been working on. So this game started as like, I'm too big. This game started as a game I made for my daughter for like a birthday present, and it was like a scavenger hunt. And I was like, all right, this game's actually a lot of fun. Oh, these shaders are still loading, I guess. How many shaders do we gotta load still? Preparing shaders. Thank you. All right, so yeah, I made this game for my daughter. It's just a little unicorn. You could do a few things, like you can see how like I can jump, but then if I get this flying pickup, now I can fly. I can float around. If I get this one, I can dash. Oh, my VFX aren't loaded yet. And then I created this little thing where I can like double click the mouse and throw a little fireball at these knights. Bonk, give them a nice little bonk. So yeah, the music always feels, this song, like, it's like the first song in this video. It's super annoying. All right, that should be better. So yeah, I have this, I have a lot of stuff in this course, in this project. Let me find what I need to be working on next. So I got the horn, I got the dashing. All right. Wing blast, jump, and then attack for a wing blast. All right, let's create that. So it would be jump and then attack for a wing blast. I got to do the animation for that, so that's gonna be a little weird. All right, let's program the wing blast first. Let's find our little unicorn here. Is this it? I think it's this one. I don't think the other one is anything. Yeah. All right, so attack. So I want to remove this pin. So basically, I have, I don't think I want this. So I have this. Why you gotta be weird? So I have an attack input, and then I have a jump input, right? So I want to be able to jump. When I jump, then I'm in the air. And then I want to check if I'm in the air. Can attack. So I'm falling is not falling. There we go. Let's create a new custom event. It's going to be called Wing Blast. So if I'm in the air, let's just do Wing Blast. For now, all right. Let's see how this works. Play. Cancel. Compile. Where is my issue? Target. Why? Oh, I need this. Wing Blast. All right, got the print. Cool. All right, so now I can just program this to do whatever I want. All right, so what should it do? It should play an animation, but I don't really want to make the animation right now. I don't think I have one either that I could really use. Assets. Asset packs. Unicorn. Why won't you open? Animations. Eating. Flying. Jump. Run. What's this eating one? Why is that? Nope. I don't think I want that one. We'll worry about the animation later. Right now I actually want it to. So what I want is, let's do some pseudo coding here. Comment. All right. So the first thing I want is, I want it to, it's going to need to play the animation, right? The next thing I want is, so the whole point of this wing blast is supposed to like, you know, like, and we want to have like a little bit of a pushback effect. So, to do the pushback, I think I'm gonna need to like see what actors are within like a certain area. It probably needs to be like a cone in front, because it shouldn't be anything behind. And we basically need to check if there's anything in that cone in the front of us, right? How do we create a cone? This would be like great for gas, like if I was using gameplay ability system, but I'm not. So I got to figure out how to do this manually. I mean, we could use like an arc, maybe. All right, let's write the cone. So check for an interactable objects in front of player. That's probably a good way to say it. All right. And then do damage. Because we want that. And then we'll do some pushback. Do some pushback. I don't know how to do pushback except for the physics system. But maybe we could figure it out. Maybe we could do something wonky. All right. So for now, I'm going to keep this animation. I'm going to keep this print string as a reminder that I need an animation. Oh, you know what? One more thing I want. Spawn VFX. That's a big part of it. It needs to look cool. And right now, like I made this little fireball thing, but it's not what I want. It's mainly just a placeholder. Let's get rainbow horn. It's a placeholder. Look at that. Got him. I'm a crack shot. This game is also supposed to be for kids, so I don't want to do anything too crazy. That's why it's called rainbow horn. It's going to do rainbow damage. It's not a kids game. It's just I don't want it to be like crazy. It should be pretty tame. All right. So let's check for interactable objects in front of the player. I might actually even just use what's it called? Sphere. Ooh. Sphere trace by channel. Get actor location. Get forward vector. Get world location. Get forward vector. We're going to do some vector math. We want to multiply this. We want to add it to this. And I'm going to make this the start and the end. Make the radius, let's start with 200 for now. I'm going to make this a little pin of an int and start with 200. So what this is going to do is it's going to, this is a pretty common thing, but if this is your first time seeing it, I'm going to get the capsule, which is this part of my character. It's just like the collider basically. I'm going to get the world location of that. And I'm going to get the forward vector. The forward vector being, if you find your little arrow that comes with it, it's like whatever direction the character is facing, right? So we get the location and the direction that we're facing. And a vector, this returns a vector that has a length of 1. So when we're multiplying it, we're multiplying the length of that vector by a number of units, and that will find a distance in front of the player that's that many units out, right? And then we're going to add it. So we're going to get our location. We're going to add 200 units to the forward vector of that. So this will get a space 200 units in front of the character. And we want to spawn. So I'm doing the start and end. Otherwise, you get some weird things. I think there's another way to do it. The radius of this sphere is how big it's going to be, and I'm going to draw it for duration, just for debugging. I think that's good. So let's try it out. All right, jump, use it. All right, so that's where we want to get. I think it needs to be down a little bit too. So let's do up vector, get up vector times. Can I do this? I've never done this. Int, let's do -50. See what happens. Is that closer to the ground, or? I think it is. Let's try -75 to see what happens. Let's do -100. It should be closer to the ground. Yeah, good. Hey, look at, I'm actually good at this sometimes. So now we have the second piece, which is check for, so we can check multi-sphere trace, which I picked the right one without even intending to. So that's good. So we'll need a for each. And what is these? What does this guy have? Interfaces, no interfaces. I could use, because like these crates are destructible, and so I could do anything that's damageable, because then it would like also damage crates and things, which could be fun. Like right now you can I'll show you, like that crate got destroyed. Let me delete this one and this one, but like I can bonk this with my horn and destroy it, so these crates are interactable. I'm thinking, like, you know, if you ever played Crash Bandicoot, big part of it is getting the crates. So I want to like do damage to everything. So like, yeah, if those guys were like on me and I went like this, that would push them both away. So that's what I want. I think actually we might want it to be a little bit bigger. Like, and maybe not so far in front of the player. Maybe like 150 and 300. This is something you get pretty late in the game, so I want it to be like pretty powerful. I like that. That feels good. And even though it's like a little bit behind, like it makes sense. Like if you were to do it, it would like maybe push something behind, like you're making a big blast of wind, right? So that kind of makes sense. So this screen just gets bigger every time I open it. All right. So yeah, I like that. If that guy was like right there, I'd barely hit him, but I wouldn't hit the one over there. I wouldn't hit the one that's like further to the left. But if I was right here, I would maybe hit both of them. Here, I would definitely hit both of them, which is what I want. I want it to be like a way to get guys away from you, because it's part of the game. Without giving away too much, it's kind of like your old I don't know. I'm thinking of like Mega Man, where like you get skills that then you use to beat bosses. But in this one, like in each world, you'll get a skill that you have to learn how to use to beat the boss of that level. So first thing I want to do is, so So these are all hit results. So let's break this. And I want to look at the hit actor and see if they have get component. And we have this health component. So this would basically say like, I don't know if I want the blocking or initial overlap yet, but we might have to. So then I'll do print. So I want to see like, I only want to print the names of things that I could like hurt. So crate 2. And if I do it around these guys, only the crate. So maybe I did want this one. Nope. All right, let me look at the fireball. So I actually don't need this one at all then. Let's try this. Crate, but not those guys. Why is this? Visibility. Hit. Let's try this one. There we go. Oh man, it hit him a lot though. Why did I get so many? Crate 2 and 3. That's good. But why did I get so many for these guys? Like, there's like... Why do I get so many? False to test against simplified collision. I don't want any collision on this. Also, why is this guy so... There we go. Just one. And the crate that time. Perfect. All right. So now let's do some damage. Right? That's the next thing to do. Check for spawn VFX. I guess this could go after damage though. All right, let's see what's going on here. Well, I'm an uncle. That's cool. Well, I already was an uncle, but I'm an uncle again. So, sorry. That's cool. Anyway, back to work. No time for fun. All right. So we want to do the damage. So we could just... damage. What do I call it? Damage handling. Let's do 2 damage for now. I think the fireball does 1. Yeah. Or apply damage. That's what I need. So that broke that. Let's see if I can break both these crates at once. Oh, yeah. All right. Can you guys not even hear this music? I'm just over here vibing, no music, because I've just been listening to my boring voice. All right, so we do some damage. That was, what's the next thing? Pushback. Ooh, there is like a push. No, it's called add impulse. Why does it work here? All right, what's the target? A primitive object. Let's do physics. Physics object. can't remember what it's called. I mean, I know there's add impulse. Impulse. Radial force. We want force. Let's try to force. It literally says like good for a one-time instant burst. What if there's one that's like force? Add force. This is like a thruster. Use that impulse. I think that's like too much for what I want, though. I don't want to deal with physics. These inherit from character. I might have to do some research on this pushback thing, though. All right. Don't need that anymore. Because I can like take this BP or character, cast a character. I really want to do that though. All right. Force. Because I could also like, if I'm playing this game, I can get the direction to that object, right? So for instance, if I'm here, the direction is going to be a little bit different. And then that direction would tell me like the direction to push the player. So that would be like away. So like if he's in front of me, it's going to push him back. But if he's like, if I did the wing blast here, the guy closer to me is going to move like away to my right, and the guy in front of me is going to move away in front of me. I could even like add some math that the closer they are, the more force it is, so they all kind of like get moved in equal distance. My worry though is like if I try to do this, I might end up in a situation where I like accidentally push something through a wall and then break the game. So I'm like really concerned what the best way to do this is. Well, I'm going to do what all y'all do. I'm going to look up some videos. UE5 pushback effect. This guy's got 12K views. motion, launch a character. Oh, that's kind of exactly what I want. Gorka Games, if you ever watched him, he's not. I never want to talk bad about people. This guy's got some good videos, and like I'm kind of coming around on him. For a long time, if I'm being honest, I was kind of like didn't see his value. Maybe is a good way to put it. But I'm coming around on him, honestly. Maybe it's that he's just been making like better content lately. But I've just found like I find that like when I want a video, it's almost always like the one that I want is his. Like he just has a lot of videos on different things. All right, how's he doing this? Fear trace. So far, we're in the same place. Launch. What was that? Launch character. That's a node. Launch character. Look at that. Who knew? So I guess I do kind of need to all right. So it does need a vector, which I think I still end up needing like what I said before. But instead, I'm going to use get look, get, it's called like look. Find look at rotator. Get root. Get world location. But I don't want the Z, I don't think, because I just want to push them like on the X and Y. So let's do split. Split. That didn't work. All right, what am I? Z override. If true, place the Z component of the character's velocity instead of adding it. What's this guy doing? He has them both off. Oh, he's doing some math. That makes sense. Oh my god. Oh, that was silly. That was so much. Let's tone it down a bit. Man, that's too much. Let's see what 500 looks like. Damn, that's a lot. Let's try 10. Is not enough. Let's try 250. I think these guys need to start like coming after me or something. Let's move them away from the wall a little bit. Let's move them like over here maybe. I don't think my math is quite great. Maybe I need this off. I also don't want them to like did I just break these guys? Yep. Visibility block. There we go. Can still break the crates. I think it works okay. Can go break these guys over here. Yeah, no more crates. All right. All right. So the next thing is this needs to take some energy. guess I could check here. Wing blast stamina cost. I want this to take how much is that rainbow horn? 30. Let's make this one 50. It's gonna take a lot. All right. So get current stamina. This is greater than or equal to wing blast stamina cost. Use stamina and do this thing. All right. Yeah, so that uses quite a bit. And now if I don't have enough, I can't do it. I just get to jump and then bam. All right, that's still pretty intense. But if these dudes were like walking towards me, that would push them back enough that I could then, you know, and then if I had my dash, I could run away. Oh, there my VFX are working now. Little pink dust. Yeah. All right. Do some pushbacks. We did that. All right, so we did damage. We do some pushback. We just need some VFX. This is where I'm weak. But let's give it a shot. We just need a placeholder for now. Which one of these is good for a wing blast? I guess like there's a... What is a twinkle aura? Radial burst. Simple explosion. Omnidirectional burst with ribbon trails. Wish I could see like a preview. Let's see this dumb thing. That one's fine. I think those ribbons are the thing I don't like, actually. And what is that one? Nothing. So those two are like linked to each other. I think like I don't want them to be gravity. Yeah, that looks cool. Gravity force. Let's do 200. That looks not bad, actually. I could see that, right? I could see that being like, whoosh, you know. I kind of want them to be like, I don't know. What are the wind gusts still like go in a straight motion, right? It's kind of like a swirl. I guess I could try to turn off the gravity on both of those. Add velocity from point. In cone. Oh, that looks cool. Let's add a wing. Let's add this. Let's see what happens. But I want it to be back here because I want it to happen even if we don't hit something. This is checking if we hit something. So. What is it? Spawn system allocation. Get wing blast sphere location. It's interesting. It's not quite. It's not quite the location that I want it either. It's like, it's not bad. I think I actually just want get actor. Oh. Get world location. Let's just try this. All right. The cone, though, is not in the right direction. That's the direction I want it. All right, so now this other one should be the same. So add velocity in cone, add velocity in cone, 0, 1, and velocity speed, cone angle 75, let's call it. I do wish I know that there's a way to make them like twirly or like more like flowy, but I'm not gonna get too into it right now. That's pretty good. It's not terrible. Oh, it's always okay. It's now it's coming out of my ass. All right. Oh my god. All right. What's the angle? Cone axis. Oh, the rotate. That's easy. I just need the rotation of my character. Get forward vector. I might just want get rotation, but let's try this. Nope. Get world rotation. Plus you can't add to a rotation. I just want this one anyway. I don't know if it's plus 90 or minus 90, but let's check it out. It's a nice little bug. There we go. There we go. I think it looks cool. We just need the animation. I can tighten up the VFX a little bit. That's what I wanted though. I want it to be like a little bit more spirally, but I think that's good for now. All right. That's my leg on the chair. It's not me, I promise. I'm not doing a wing blast. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I might, what's the pitch? Maybe like plus 15, so it's like pointed at the ground kind of. Maybe I need roll. Maybe it's like that. All right, so this is 45. I think 30 is probably better. Actually, let's do 20. I like that. All right, good enough. All right, we got like 30 more minutes. This is kind of wonky, but it works. Oh, now we need the ability to unlock it. So that needs to be locked. Skill unlock base. Create child. AP unlock wing blast. Oh. Wing blast. Alright, so that's good. Let's pull that into the world. And then no, has tag. And nothing. Let's get this wing blast. Oh yeah. All right. So now we have the ability to unlock it. All right. Let's wing blast cost. Let's clean this up a little bit. I don't know why I keep typing that incorrectly. Up here. True. All right, that's good. I'm happy with that. We need the animation. I can do that later. All right, what's the next thing? Rainbow heart. Rainbow tail. The ability to walk on water. Now I need to figure out how to make water though. Do I have some water? What is that? Oh. It's pretty cool. So basically, I'm not really happy with that, the way that looks. I think I have a plugin for water. Let's see though. What is this? Little waterfall. All right. So there is going to be like island levels where, and the skill that you get there is going to be the ability to walk on water, because like you can get the flying ability, right? This one. So right now I can't fly, but if I get this and I double tap, I can now fly around as long as I have the energy. Oh, I wonder if I can fly. All right, let's do this, because this would be something I don't want. So I have the wing blast. All right, cool. Oh, because when you're flying, you're no longer falling. But I could do... All right. I think that works the way I want it to. What is that? Oh, that was something else I was working on. Rainbow tail. All right, I want to be able to float on water, but that means I need to find water, and that's gonna be annoying. Don't really want to do that. Well, I guess we have to keep progress of this game going. So let's, for now, let's just define some water. Like, he can't swim, or she can't swim. Doors, gates, blinds. Yeah. What's in here? Oh, level complete. Checkpoint to and from teleporting. I think I just need like, what's this one? See, that doesn't, that, I know it's not meant to be water. I need to get some water assets. Really? Epic, you're annoying. All right. God, I have so many stupid assets on Fab now. Let's see if there's a water. Cartoon water shader. Underwater world. 70 assets. That looks great. When did I buy this? This is perfect. This is all I want. Video. Come on. All right, let's use that one. Let's save all in case this crashes. Your page just came across my timeline. Do you have a conversation about audio? What do you mean? Like how to implement audio? Your page just came across my timeline. Like using audio in Unreal Engine? Yeah, I get some. Like how to implement sound? Yes. I do. All right, where was that? Add this to Unicorn. Yes, and sound design. Yeah, a little bit. The audio is actually super easy in Unreal Engine. Like, for instance, I just created this wing blast for my little unicorn. So if I wanted to add a sound now, I can do two things. Spawn sound. Well, let's do play sound first, because play sound is a little bit easier. Play sound. Play sound 2D. Plays a sound directly with no attenuation. So this is good for UI sounds, just like it says. So like UI clicks, things like that. Things that like the player would hear, but like they don't exist in the world, right? That's a good way to look at it. Plays a sound at a given location. This, I wouldn't use this one. I think play sound 2D is something I would use for UI. Play sound at location is probably fine. It's good if you just like have a one-time sound that's just going to be played once and never again. Like maybe in like a cutscene or something. But the one you most likely want is spawn sound, and you can do spawn sound 2D or spawn sound at location or spawn sound attached. So let's use spawn sound at location. And let's just, is there a wind? Wind. Let's navigate to this sound so we can hear it. We can make it let's make this whatever. This guy's gonna explode. Explosion 1. And we'll do this. Where can I learn this information? Like any books? There are books. The problem with books is that the technology moves along and the books stay the same. So like I have lots of programming books on my bookshelf. You can't see it because I have my, well, one, it's like it would be out of screen anyway, but I also have the background masking. Programming books are good for theory, right? And in most cases, Unreal Engine isn't going to change the way this thing right here happens, right? But there are some videos. I have a free course that's on YouTube that we do talk about sound for a little bit. I can try to find that one. Your videos. All right. So if you go to my YouTube channel, let me see if you can see this. And you go to playlists. You can see I have all these. These are my vibes. I have this game development bootcamp, which is a pretty good course. Teaches you some of the basics. This one's a little bit more up to date. I did it last summer. This game development basics is a little bit older. It was made in 2023, so it's like a year or two old. This one we do talk about sound. So if I go like, how do I see this? Videos. So you can see there's like a lot here, and we talk about sound. I think in week 3. Sound, implementing sound. So it's like halfway through that. As far as like Unreal Engine books, I don't know any that would specifically talk about sound. But there are some really cool tools in Unreal Engine regarding sound. Like, let me see if I could find this. Like these cues, for instance. collapse Q, explosion Q. Like in here, you can do a lot of things. So I have explosion 1 and explosion 2. This is going to pick one at random, and it's going to modulate it, which means it's going to change the pitch slightly or the volume slightly. And this is so that, like, if you were to play this explosion over and over again, it's not going to sound the exact same every time, like very robotic. And I'll show you. So if I do, so right now I'm just spawning sound. Let's explosion Q. So let me do both. I will copy this. Explosion Q. Right? So first we're going to play just the sound. Let's see if this works. All right. Oh, I need Wing Blast. Gotta unlock it. But it always sounds the same, right? I don't know if you could hear that even. Let me turn the music off. Where's the music? Is it here? Yeah. Let's pause the music. All right, gotta go get Wing Blast. It's an explosion, but the point is to, like, just show the point, right? No, Unreal Engine does not use C#, at least for this. The visual scripting is completely its own thing. My course teaches you visual scripting with no knowledge of coding. So the benefit of my course, and there are other courses like it, mine's free, is that we start from zero. So I make no assumptions. We start from, like, the very, very basics of game dev. And we work through all these things. So let me show you now. So spawn sound at location, but we're going to use the Q instead. And I'm going to do a couple different ones. So let's get Wing Blast. I'm all out of juice. So they sound, like, slightly different. So that's the benefit of a sound cue, is you can basically create these elements. You can also do, like, attenuation, for instance. And attenuation, there isn't one. But what it does is it will attenuate the sound based upon distance, and maybe even some other things as well. But this is good for, like, if the enemy was making this sound and the enemy was far away, it would be very faint. And as they get closer, it'll get stronger. So, like, a good example is, like, sounds of footsteps. If an enemy is very far away, you wouldn't even hear the footsteps. But as the enemy gets closer, you're going to hear those footsteps that make it sound like the enemy is approaching. But you can see there's all kinds of these over here. If you've ever done any work with audio, you should know what a lot of these do, like delays, looping, mixing. So, like, this one, we can mix 2 inputs to get 1 output. Oscillator. There's some good ones in here. So yeah. But yeah. Just sound. If you don't care about game dev at all and you just want to do sound design, my course is probably not gonna. It's gonna teach you sound, but it's like a very small portion of it. Interestingly, and I'm not affiliated with this company, so this is not like a plug for them other than the fact that, like, I know that this exists. View all products. Let's search for sound. Oh, here we go. Game audio essentials, sound effects, and sound design for video games. Let me put the link. So, free plug. Congrats, GameDev.tv. So this one does teach a little bit. You're going to learn to use Audacity, which is like a audio editing tool. I don't know what Reaper is. What's Reaper? Reaper audio. Oh, okay. This is like this is interesting. This looks like a better audio production tool. It's got some good tools, but this would be more about like making your own sounds. So Game Audio Essentials, music production. So they have 2 for music. That's interesting. Or 1 for music and 1 for sound effects. And work with the dev 2 to help with programming. So you want to be able to implement the sound, not just make the sounds, but implement them. Create the sound and work with the dev to help with programming. I mean, I think in that case, and this is not me trying to plug my own channel. I would never try to make someone spend time on my course if it wasn't going to be a good use of their time. The benefit of my course is you're going to learn a lot of how Unreal Engine works. And those are going to help you. Like, that's going to help you. Even if you're not a programmer, even if you're not a game designer, and your exposure to Unreal Engine is going to be very small, I recommend going through like an Unreal Engine course, even if you're just like a 3D artist, right? Because it's going to help you understand like how is your art going to be used? And then as an artist, you can provide better assets to your programmers and to your game designers and to your technical artists. And you prevent a lot of back and forth. So I make a 3D model, I give it to someone, and they're like, hey, you need to fix all these things. But if I'm a 3D modeler and I already know how Unreal Engine works, then I could basically make sure that I'm giving them the best product. So yeah, implementation in Unreal Engine, like honestly, it's really just like, it's literally just this. I guess like the challenge comes from these, like setting up these cues correctly. There's also a new system. I don't know anything about it, but it's called MetaSounds Audio. MetaSounds patch. This is a pretty powerful system. I just don't really know how to use it at all, but this is a really cool system for audio as well. You can do a lot through here. If you're not familiar with how to use this, I can't really help, but I'm sure that there's some courses on MetaSounds out there that could help you at least get started. But if you're like a sound designer and you just want to like learn how to implement stuff into Unreal Engine, my course is going to help you at least understand like what the programmer is looking for, and then even maybe help them with implementation. So like in this case, literally all I did is just say spawn sound at location with this cue, and the location is this location that I made. So, but yeah, I mean, my course is probably good for just about anyone that thinks they're going to be using Unreal Engine at least a little bit. But if you're not going to be in Unreal Engine, it's probably not a good use of your time. There's probably better courses on just sound design. I would recommend the GameDev.tv one, but yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I also have a Discord. If you have questions, you can always let me know. Let me go to a different screen so you can see it. There it is. There's a QR code. I can also do this. Hidden use copy button. What the heck? Sable. Hidden use copy. That was funny. There we go. Never, no limit. Generate new cute copy. There we go. There's my Discord. Is it coming through? Keep it up one sec. The Discord. Yeah. But anyway, I think the course is at least a good place to get started. I have a Discord. You can check it out. It's helpful. There's a lot of cool people on there. There's other sound designers on there that I've talked to in the past. I used to do a lot of sound design when I was much younger, so I know a little bit about like how to create audio and things like that, but it's something I haven't done in many years. So, but yeah. All right, so today we got this wing blast done, done-ish, done to a point, right? I was starting on this, so I got this, what was it called? Water shader. Let's check that out. Content. Water shader, let's put it in here. Awesome. Well, welcome. Let me know if you need anything. I'm around. Stream with camera. All right. I think that's 2 hours, almost on the dot. Maybe what I can do is I will end where we started for those that missed the beginning of the stream. And I'll just talk about the roadmap one more time. I'm going to do this. All right. So, if you were in there the whole time, there's been a few people in this stream. I don't know if they're always the same 6 people, but anyway, just a little bit about what's going to happen for the rest of the year. Follow the channel, join the Discord. Here's some things that I'm working on. So I'm currently working on a 3D modeling for game development course. I anticipate having that out, at least part of it, by the end of this month. Maybe early February, just because there's a lot of things going on in my personal life right now that are pulling me away from this stuff. So keep an eye out on the YouTube channel and the Discord for that 3D modeling for game dev. If you've ever been interested in what goes into 3D modeling, again, with all my courses, these are beginner courses, so I'd make no assumptions about you as a 3D modeler or as a developer. We're going to start with 0. We're going to start at absolutely nothing. And we're going to work through how to make 3D models. So if that's something you're interested in, keep an eye out for that. It should be out soon. In March, I'll be releasing the second half of that course, which is going to go more into like sculpting and rigging and animation for things like characters. So if you want to make your own characters for your games, keep an eye out for that course. My caveat with this is there's a lot of Blender courses out there. I don't think mine's the best course, but I don't think that there are many courses that specifically focus on modeling for game development. So if that's what you want to do, if you're not interested in like animation for like a studio like Pixar, like doing movies and things, you're mainly focused on game development, I think this is a good course for that. In June, I'm going to be releasing an updated version of my game development bootcamp. This is something I did last summer. I've got some feedback from the people that have watched it, and I hope to make some improvements to that course. And this is going to be an updated version of that course to help you learn game development. So keep an eye out for that. In the Discord community, we are currently working on a community project. This is a project that's going to be built 100% by the community. We've already got off to a really good start. It's only been like less than 2 weeks, and there's already been a ton of progress. I'm super impressed and proud of the team, and I can't wait to show you the rest of you what we've been working on. So keep an eye out for updates on that as well. But the game will actually be launching on Steam July 15th. So once the Steam page is live, I'll send out a link. People can wish list it. It's going to be free. So just get it because it's a free game. Even if you never play it, just get it. just to make me happy. To know that someone at least took the time to like click to get the game. So yeah. And then last October we did a game jam. It was a lot of fun. Everyone had a great time scaring the hell out of me. So we're going to do that again. And you're going to scare me again. I'm going to be really upset. But it's funny, right? It's funny. Everyone likes it, right? Because I don't like being scared. So you better like it, because otherwise it's a waste of everyone's time. So keep an eye out later in the year for that game jam. But yeah, thanks for those of you that stuck around. Hopefully you got something out of the stream. And I'll go ahead and sign off. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream.